On this edition of Good Day DePaul, a campus safety summit at DePaul.
Artificial intelligence. DePaul issues some guidelines.
And Convocation, and once more kicks off the school year at the university. I'm Juliana Pelaez.
And I'm Max Raymond, and this is Good Day DePaul. On September 9th, between 1 and 1:30 in the morning, 3 robberies occurred on DePaul's Lincoln Park campus, and public safety believes the 2 men were involved in all 3 crimes. The first was at 935 West Fullerton in the walkway next to the Fullerton L station. 2 DePaul students say they were approached by the 2 men who demanded their belongings. The second incident was at the corner of Belden and Sheffield. 3 students say they were approached by 2 men who demanded their belongings. The third incident was at the corner of Kenmore and Fullerton. This time, a 3rd man was also involved. Public safety says the 3 approached 2 DePaul students and demanded their money. One of the students was hit in the face. So far, no suspects have been arrested.
The day after these incidents, DePaul President Robert Manuel said the university would increase its public safety presence on both campuses with additional security officers. And a few weeks later, DePaul held a campus safety summit. I was at the meeting and talked to some of those who attended.
With the new school year up and running, many are concerned about safety at DePaul. With this in mind, University President Robert Manuel hosted a second campus safety summit meeting.
And so it's important that as we begin to think about the questions of safety and security, we think of that in conjunction with our community leaders. The problem is that the environment's changed a little bit now. COVID certainly didn't help. And Chicago itself is experiencing a bit of a resurgence in crime. And it's up to us now to connect to the places where those conversations are being decided so that we know the strategies and are part of those strategies.
A big concern is crime in and around DePaul's 2 campuses, where many walk to and from academic buildings.
Just be conscious of where you are, be conscious of what you're doing. If you're taking an Uber, wait in the establishment till the Uber arrives. Utilize those boxes to call for help if you see it. Travel in groups, all of the things that we ask you to do. We simply are here to serve you, and we want to serve you in the best way possible. And I said it at the beginning, we can't do it alone.
Joseph Bird is the police department's public transportation commander. He addressed concerns of DePaul students who ride the CTA to campus.
Whenever I see a victim on public transportation, it frustrates me. I understand the students that attend DePaul, they need to use it to get to their campus, their classes. Last year, the department committed more resources to public transportation. It wasn't that they ignored it, it was just that we saw the focus, we saw the crime increase. They sent more officers, and these officers are incredibly dedicated. We have to get more on Fullerton Station. That's where we want to be. But this month, for violent crime on CTA, we're down 16%. For the year, we're down 13%.
CTA Vice President Kevin Ryan says they've expanded security on both the Fullerton and Jackson lines at night. Despite these measures, some still have mixed feelings about safety at DePaul.
Generally, like I said, I feel safe on campus. I think when students were not on campus and Lincoln Park was a little bit less populated and there were just less people around during the pandemic, I think there were times when campus maybe felt a little bit less safe. And the more people are on campus, the more safe it feels. There has been incidents where I've had to call public safety in the past. We are an open campus. And really, as a rule of thumb for me, if there's any scenario where especially our students feel uncomfortable, I'm calling on public safety to help.
Cindy Newman is DePaul's Associate Director of Undergraduate Admissions. She feels the campuses are safe, but says crime can always happen in a city like Chicago.
Overall, I felt great about it because I do feel that we practice very good safety measures for our students. I think that we have an amazingly safe and secure campus for students. However, things happen. This is a big city.
President Manuel says the ideas offered during the summit will be considered for the university's 5-year safety and security plan. Reporting for Good Day DePaul, I'm Juliana Pelaez.
Following the Campus Safety Summit, DePaul Public Safety reported another robbery. This took place on September 17th at about 1:20 in the morning. It occurred on Belden Avenue, west of Racine. Two DePaul students, a man and a woman, say 4 or 5 men, jumped out of a car and demanded the student's personal belongings. The female student says her purse was taken. Public safety says the offenders used pepper spray and punched the male student in the face. The suspects then fled west on Belden Avenue.
And DePaul isn't the only urban university dealing with crime. For example, consider Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. Recently, the Yale Campus Police Union handed out flyers to new students. Those flyers told the students that it was unsafe to leave school grounds, walk alone, take public transportation, or be outdoors after 8 at night. The flyers said crime in New Haven is shockingly high and getting worse. But Yale and city officials say the flyers are a misleading scare tactic, but what they say is a union seeking a new contract. They called the flyers inaccurate and totally offensive. The city's mayor says crime around the campus has dropped significantly in the past 3 years.
A fatal shooting at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. It occurred on August 28th. A graduate student, Taleo Key, seen on the left, is charged with shooting and killing ZJ Yan, pictured on the right. Yan was an associate director in the Department of Applied Physical Sciences. The university says Yan was Key's faculty advisor. No word yet on the motive for the shooting.
The DePaul Athletic Department recently sent an email to the university community. It said DePaul students could get a discount on tickets for the Live Golf Tournament recently held in suburban Sugar Grove. The email called this an unforgettable weekend filled with top-notch golf competition and world-class entertainment. It said Live Golf is the most supercharged competition in the sport, while Live has been the subject of continuing controversy. It was set up and funded by an entity of the government of Saudi Arabia. That government has been condemned internationally for its role in the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, and also for its human rights violations and repressive internal policies. The PGA Golf Tour originally opposed Live Golf, but then reversed itself and reached a tentative agreement to merge with Live, an agreement that many have criticized. In light of all this, Good Day DePaul contacted the DePaul Athletic Department and asked why the department promoted the Live tournament. This was their reply. DePaul Athletics provided an opportunity for email subscribers to purchase discounted tickets to an upcoming Illinois-based Live Golf event. Live is now an official PGA-recognized partner, and this offer is similar to other discount ticket offers for professional sports teams that were provided this summer. Good Day DePaul also contacted the University Media Relations Department, but did not receive a response.
Student loan debt. It's always a concern for current and former college students. But for many, that concern is now growing. Beginning next month, they'll have to start making student loan payments again. Those payments were suspended during the COVID-19 pandemic. After that, President Biden planned to reduce or completely forgive student loan debt for millions of people. But last June, the Supreme Court ruled against that plan.
DePaul will soon be offering health insurance to its students. The insurance will cover physical and behavioral health services. It will be required of all degree-seeking students beginning in the fall of next year. However, students can opt out if they already have adequate insurance coverage.
The university has issued some guidance on student use of artificial intelligence, or AI. Provost Samuel Ganem says that if a student uses AI in classwork, it should be considered analogous to a person. Ganem said this means any content generated by AI should be considered a source and should be cited appropriately when the assignment is submitted.
Coming up on Good Day DePaul, the DePaul fall sports season is off and running.
And the university takes some additional steps to deal with its budget issues. Those stories and more when Good Day DePaul returns.
2004 Skateboard Championship.
High school, moped.
How about you, Slim? Anything?
Something.
Looks like Slim's got a little paper cut.
It's nothing.
Come on, man. No, I'm gonna make you tell me.
Hey, kidney transplant.
When, dude? I didn't know you were sick.
I was donating it.
Someone in your family?
You gave your kidney to a complete stranger?
Yeah, saved his life.
Wow. All right.
Everyone can save a life by being a living organ donor on matchingdonors.com.
Max is here now with Good Day DePaul Sports. Max.
Juliana, DePaul officials recently announced that they'll be building a new practice sports facility in Lincoln Park. Good Day DePaul's Ade Jagannathan has details.
Earlier this month, DePaul announced plans to build a new state-of-the-art practice facility for its men's and women's basketball teams. The university will also modernize the Sullivan Athletic Center and the McGrath-Phillips Arena. DePaul President Robert Manuel says this is part of a larger effort to bring the university into a modern age of higher education.
We are going to create 2 focus campaigns over the next couple years. One devoted to the academic enterprise of the university, and one devoted to establishing and reestablishing athletics inside the university and then out in the world as well. This is only possible because of the history and the tradition we have, and because of the leadership and the dedication and the vision of Dwayne Peavy, who you'll hear from in a minute. Dwayne has created an incredible ethos inside the athletic program, which is on fire at the moment, and something that we want to extend into the reaches of DePaul philanthropy to be able to fund the next extension of the work we do.
Vice President of Athletics Dwayne Peavy called it a historic day for the university as he spoke about the project.
Today, we're prepared to write the next chapter of our history. As part of a larger university-wide philanthropic expansion and designing DePaul, DePaul's Board of Trustees has unanimously authorized an athletics capital fundraising campaign aimed at modernizing the Sullivan Athletic Center and McGrath-Phillips Arena and constructing a new dedicated basketball practice facility here in Lincoln Park. Upon completion, each of DePaul's varsity sports will have their own locker room for the first time in school history, in addition to state-of-the-art training, wellness, and recruiting spaces. These projects are a testament to DePaul's transformative vision for the future and commitment to comprehensive excellence necessary to become the national model for higher education, and our goal for DePaul to become the premier program in the Big East Conference.
The new athletics facility will be built across the street from the McGrath-Phillips Arena on the Lincoln Park campus.
The project is set to break ground at the end of the 2024-25 school year. Men's basketball coach Tony Stubblefield said that the project would be crucial for both recruitment and maintaining a high level of student-athlete experience. Women's basketball coach Doug Bruno called the facility a game changer for both current and future DePaul hoopsters. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Ade Jagannathan.
DePaul Athletic Director Dwayne Peavy has reached a contract extension. The new contract will run through June of 2027. Peavy's been at DePaul since 2020. The DePaul's women's volleyball team recently took on UIC in a home match at McGrath-Phillips Arena, and as always, the crosstown rivalry was filled with intensity.
A day after beating Loyola Chicago 3-0, the Blue Demons had their eyes set on vanquishing another local foe, this time UIC. From the start, DePaul jumped out to an early 10-6 lead in the first set and never looked back. While UIC kept it close, the Blue Demons were able to close out the set 25-17, thanks in part to outside hitter Jill Presley, who recorded 3 of her team-high 13 kills. In the second set, UIC took an early 5-2 lead, but DePaul answered with a 7-1 run to go ahead 9-6. From there, it was back and forth, with each team quickly retaking the lead. Tied 19-19 late, Presley and middle blocker Megan Scholes recorded 2 kills apiece to help DePaul win the set 25-21. Looking to avoid being swept, UIC jumped out to a 13-4 lead in the third set. DePaul was never able to fully get their footing, dropping the set 25-13. Unfazed, the Blue Demons started the fourth set on a 10-3 run, with 7 different players recording a kill or service ace. From there, the Blue Demons were able to close out the set 25-21 and take the match 3-1. Heading into the fourth set, head coach Marie Zidek made sure to calm her team down for them to close out the match.
Third set, obviously we had a little bit of a lull at the beginning, a little bit of a mental, a little bit of a mental break for us, an unfocused moment of 10-15 minutes, and we finished the third set playing our style of volleyball, winning some long rallies, getting some solid blocks, and so I just told them, hey, get right back on the horse in this fourth set, and we started how we finished that third set, and fortunately we were able to build a 4-1, 5-1 lead and didn't really look back.
Jill Presley, who led the Blue Demons with 13 kills, credited her teammates for her impressive performance.
You know, I was just trying to get through the block. They have a pretty strong block, and we went over that in film, and so I was just trying to find the high hands, try to get the easy kill out of it, and I think that's what helped me throughout the game, as well as helped my teammates. My teammates were very supportive and kind of helped me where to hit and where to go. But yeah, just kind of hitting those high hands, hitting those edges was really the game plan.
The win brought the Blue Demons record to 7-4. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Max Raymond.
And a big honor for the DePaul volleyball team. For the second straight week, volleyball middle blocker Megan Scholes was named Big East Freshman of the Week. During the DePaul Invitational, Scholes started all 3 games for the Blue Demons, recording 16 blocks across 9 sets. She also added 11 kills. In the team's recent win against UIC, Scholes recorded 6 kills and 5 blocks. Scholes wasn't the only DePaul athlete to be honored. Women's soccer goalie Elena Milam was named Big East Goalie of the Week. Milam recorded her first career shutout against UIC, and she followed this up with an impressive performance against Loyola, recording a season-high 11 saves. On the men's team, for the second time in his career, junior Gandhi Cruz was named Big East Goalie of the Week. In their draw against Bowling Green, Cruz recorded 7 saves. This was his second shutout of the season and 10th of his career. And still another honor for the men's soccer team. Freshman forward Noah Hernandez was recently called up to the Puerto Rican national team for their matches in the CONCACAF Nations Leagues. In men's basketball, former 4-star prospect Zion Cruz is transferring from DePaul. In a statement, the DePaul's athletic department said, "Zion Cruz is not enrolled in fall classes and intends to transfer. We wish him all the best in his future." Meanwhile, over the summer, the men's team added UCLA transfer Mekawibber Mac Etienne. A 6'10 New York native, Etienne arrives at DePaul with 3 remaining years of eligibility. Coming out of high school, Etienne was ranked as high as number 31 in the class of 2021 by 247sports.com and was ranked as the nation's number 5 center. Last season with UCLA, Etienne recorded a career-high 10 points in the NCAA tournament against UNC Asheville, shooting 5 for 5 from the field. Finally, this past July, in track and field, DePaul weight thrower Noelle Makamaki became a world champion. Makamaki won the shot put event in the World Para-Athletics competition. Makamaki was born without her right hand. And that's sports. Back to you, Juliana.
Thanks, Max. Over the summer, DePaul took more steps to deal with its budget shortfall, specifically the school's voluntary separation incentive program. That's the program where staff members were given financial incentives to retire early, thus saving the university money. A total of 77 employees agreed to participate in the program out of 205 who were eligible. Meanwhile, President Manuel said that 15 full-time staff members have left the university through what Manuel called workforce reductions. This is out of a total of 1,300 full-time employees. Manuel also said significant steps are being taken to enhance the budget process for next year. He said he will work with all the leadership groups on campus in this process. Manuel said this means constructing a process that has enough time for deliberation, providing adequate dates and information to review, and honoring his commitment to shared governance with the faculty and others at the university.
Meanwhile, this fall, President Manuel announced that the university will be creating 3 new institutes. They'll be dealing with poverty, environmental sustainability, and artificial intelligence.
Last June, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a ruling that will eliminate affirmative action program at universities. The court ruled that race-conscious admissions programs are unconstitutional. In response, DePaul President Robert Manuel issued a statement saying he was disappointed with the court's ruling. Manuel reaffirmed what he called DePaul's commitment to serving the diversity in our world. He said the university will continue to recruit diverse classes and cultivate programs that appeal to a wide range of populations. Manuel said DePaul will continue to foster an understanding of the importance of diversity.
The Supreme Court's affirmative action ruling is leading to other action as well. For example, some are calling for an end to so-called legacy admissions. That's when the children of alumni at a college are given preference in admissions. Critics say legacy admissions tend to favor white and wealthy applicants over low-income minority students. And some colleges are now responding to this criticism. MIT, Amherst, Johns Hopkins, University of California, Colorado's public colleges, and Wesleyan University have all decided to end legacy admissions. Meanwhile, in another development, the U.S. Department of Education is investigating Harvard University's policies on legacy admissions. This after a group called Lawyers for Civil Rights claim Harvard discriminates against minorities when it gives preference to legacy students.
Next on Good Day DePaul, Convocation 2023.
And a peaceful getaway at the university. Those stories and more when we return.
I think we should split. Split up? Why? I want to meet new people. People who need me. Meet new people? You're my left kidney. You only need one of me, man. And you have two. There are plenty of people out there who are dying because they don't have one. Really? You'll be giving the gift of life. I could be a hero. Yeah. It's all win-win up here, buddy. Why don't you go and save a life, pal? You're doing the right thing.
Last week, DePaul kicked off Hispanic Heritage Month at the university. The opening event honored the 55th anniversary of the founding of the Young Lords. They're the former street gang that in 1969 held a 2-week occupation of the McCormick Theological Seminary in Lincoln Park. They demanded that the seminary support the creation of low-income housing for people who had been displaced by gentrification and urban renewal in Lincoln Park. During last week's event, a plaque was unveiled on the side of the old seminary building, honoring the Young Lords' work in the area.
Last summer, DePaul named Professor Valerie Johnson the university's provost for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Johnson held that job on an interim basis before that. She was a longtime political science professor at DePaul and has been heavily involved in minority issues during her time at the university.
In July, Prince William of England announced an initiative to end homelessness in the United Kingdom, and it's a plan of DePaul Connection. England's royal panel has chosen the Rough Institute of Global Homelessness, the IGH, as a sector partner in this initiative. IGH is housed at DePaul. Lydia Stazen, the IGH director, was named to the British Initiative's National Experts Panel.
On August 31st, DePaul held its annual Convocation, the event that kicks off the academic school year at the university. As always, faculty and staff gathered at the Lincoln Park Quad and then walked in procession to St. Vincent's de Paul Church. Following a ceremony at the church, a welcome back celebration was held on the quad.
Both of DePaul's campuses are right in the middle of the city, so there is a constant activity.
But there's one place where students can get away and enjoy some sun and quiet.
When the sun is out on a beautiful day, DePaul students in the Loop campus have one place in mind to study and relax. That place is the terrace.
So my class is like across the street, and also Loop campus doesn't have really much like outdoor areas, and this is like the only one I know of, and yeah, I just like a lot of sunshine.
The terrace is located on the 11th floor of the DePaul Center and is frequented by many for its sights and relaxing views. Frida Campos, a junior at DePaul, is one of the many students who visit.
It's sunny and it's outdoors, and I don't know, yeah, I like looking at the skyline also.
It's just such a nice view here, and the fact that it's like you're elevated so high, you're within like the tops of the buildings almost, it feels like.
The view includes the Willis Tower from afar and other parts of downtown.
It's a nice place just to chill out between classes if you need to do stuff, maybe finish up some work, enjoy the outdoors, that is when it's not rainy or too hot. So it's an overall nice place to be.
Whether you're looking to do some homework, relax with friends, or enjoy the fresh air, the terrace is a great place to be. Reporting for Good Day DePaul, I'm Juliana Playas.
That's all for this week's edition of Good Day DePaul. You can keep up with us by visiting our Vimeo channel at Good Day DePaul or by going to goodday.depaul.edu.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook.
And if you have any news tips, message us through the Good Day DePaul social media channels.
Thanks for watching. I'm Juliana Playas.
And I'm Max Raymond. Have a good day, DePaul.